Now, summer vacation is starting for a lot of students across the two Virginias, and some parents may be looking for ways to keep their kids' skills sharp. And kids learned in school, they want that to be top of mind. There's a thing called brain drain, and while some of them want to do something fun as well, what meets all of that? Gear Up Southern West Virginia may have the solution in the form of summer camps. This summer, they're going to be offering both day and overnight camps that teach everything from business skills to media creation. These camps are free for Gear Up students. That's rising 8th and 9th grade students in one of the 5 counties that the program covers. But if they don't have a camp you're interested in, they're providing other options as well in the form of summer camp scholarships. That will cover the cost of camps like 4-H camps, STEM camps, Concord University's esports camps, and more for the Gear Up students.
We just want our young people to know they have all kinds of opportunities. We don't want to limit what those opportunities are. And often what the challenge is isn't whether or not they know there's a camp available, but whether or not they can afford to go to the camp. So we want to take that barrier out of the way. That's what Gear Up does. We take barriers out of the way. And we're going to take barriers out of the way for these young people to have great summer experiences.
O'Sullivan adds that they hope the summer camps and scholarships will give young people in the area the opportunities they deserve over the summer. However, she says spots are already filling up fast, so go to the Gear Up Southern West Virginia site to see what camps remain available and to contact somebody about the scholarships.